glad you're together with us. This is Empower. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. In this program, we focus on people and workplace. And I thank God that He's molding us, He's building us as we become the people He designed us to be from the beginning. We say that we are His workmanship. He has created us uniquely. He even knit us in our mother's womb. Oh my, it is just amazing. Remember, He told Jeremiah before he was formed in his mother's womb, He knew him and even set him apart. So God has a purpose for us. Together with me is
Wangoi Steve. I'm glad to be here.
Pleasure, Wangoi. And last week, Wangoi, we were talking about being missionaries in the marketplace. Maybe you can brief us what we said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we were saying that God has not just taken us to our workplaces to better or for our earthly life.
Yes.
He's also taken us there so that we can build the kingdom.
Yes.
By reaching to people and bringing them to Christ. And we said the way to do that, it is in word and in deed.
Indeed.
Yes.
Including sharing.
Yes.
Openly saying, you know what, I believe Jesus.
Yes.
You can also believe in Him.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So looking at that and being missionaries in the marketplace, today we look at Joseph. In our program today we are calling it the Joseph effect. We want to see how Joseph excelled in work, in integrity and influence.
Yeah.
And Joseph is a great example, among other examples that we'll be looking later, that excelled first of all in a foreign land.
Yeah.
First of all, sold as a slave.
Yeah.
A place where no one knows him. A place where he's so far from his family.
Yeah.
But it's someone we can learn from as far as marketplace is concerned and our faith. And it is good to look at, first of all, something that we mentioned, integrity and ethical conduct.
Yeah.
This comes out very well as far as Joseph is concerned.
Yeah. I love the story of Joseph. I read it and read it again.
Yes.
And it always gives me a challenge as a Christian. Because if there is one person, like you have said, who excelled, was Joseph. Against all odds. Remember, he was living with a family, and he was a favorite of the father, and the brothers were very mad at him. So he thrived against all odds. He was ready to say it, just like the way you were saying last week. You have to confess your faith and say, this is me.
Yes.
Joseph said it, and it landed him into so much trouble.
Yes.
But in that trouble, he stood for God. I like the way the word says that God was in him, with him. God was with him. It keeps repeating.
Yes.
So the way he was able to stand in integrity and he was able to go against the Potiphar's wife and all that.
Yes.
It is only God who could have enabled him. So the first point that I would like us to gather is that God has to be with us. And remember, God does not leave us. It is us who leave God.
Yes.
So let us always make sure we are together with God. Then we'll be able to be ethical. We'll be able to stand against all odds.
Because you can imagine, this is your boss.
Yeah.
Your boss's wife.
Yeah.
So she has authority over you.
Yes.
You are in her house.
Yes.
You are the only one there. No one knows where you are.
Yes.
No one will even know except the two of you and now God. But people, they will not know.
Yeah.
But he was able to say no.
Yes.
I'll not do this and sin against my God.
Yes.
To an extent that he ran away. And it's quite interesting that these are things that we struggle with at workplace. Even not to an extent of being someone telling you to sleep with them like it was. Even other aspects, other small things. Even sign here for me.
Yes.
Let's get this money and share. Let us, But you realize that Joseph was able to say, no, I cannot do this. I cannot sin against my God. Workplace integrity. Yes. For Joseph, this was a workplace.
Yeah, this
was
was
his
our
place of work.
Yeah.
When these things were happening.
Yeah.
And it was happening from someone senior to him. and the environment could favor.
Yeah.
Looking at all facts,
Yes.
the environment was favoring
Yeah.
it. He was also going to be given something by this. She was
Of
capable
course.
of even
Yeah.
giving him favors.
I can imagine her telling Joseph, I will cover you.
Yes.
Nobody will know.
Nobody will know.
I'll even promote
Yes.
you. Huh?
You know?
Nobody will ever know. But Joseph,
Yes.
whatever was inside him, it was so strong
Yes.
that he could not compromise.
Yes.
Yeah.
And think about it at workplace. When such situations present themselves,
Yeah.
as Christians, what do we do? Do you have such a firm stand? And you can say, this one, because of my relationship with God,
Yes. Yeah.
I better lose my job. And you see, Joseph lost his job.
Yes, he did. And he did not just lose his job and to go and find it. Remember, he's in a foreign country.
Yes.
And the Bible says this Potiphar guy was second from Pharaoh.
Yes.
So he was the senior guy.
Senior person.
So who will hire you when the king has fired you? On top of that, you are in a foreign country.
Yes.
So he lost his job and he found himself in a dungeon, in prison.
Yes.
And not for one day.
Yes.
Years.
For doing nothing wrong.
Yes, for doing nothing wrong, for pleasing God. So
Yes.
we should be ready to pay the price.
And that paying
Yes.
of price in the marketplace, some of us don't like it. And sometimes you weigh, okay, now I will refuse this, I lose my job.
Yes.
Then,
Yes.
you know, I'll refuse this, and then na vile nyumbani tunateseka. I'm the breadwinner.
Yes, mi
you
ndio
know, I'm supporting my
nategemewa.
mom. So when you look at it from those directions,
Yeah.
But you can see what God had in store for Joseph.
Yes.
Even after all this. And we should be ready to go through those consequences of
Yes.
saying, you know, I'm not going to bow,
compromise,
I'm not
yeah.
going to compromise. But at the same time, when you look at ahead, you can see that there is great success that comes.
Yes.
So
Even
it's
in
quite
prison,
interesting. Yes.
the Bible said that God gave Joseph favor.
Yes.
God was with Joseph and he gave him favor. So it doesn't mean now I'm the breadwinner and I've
Yes.
lost this job. We are going to sleep
Yes.
hungry. Our mind, we should know in our hearts and in our minds that God is our provider. The job I do is not my provider. So I'll stand for this God. Then it's upon him to
Yes.
stand for me. And when you stand for God, our God is not a user.
He's not.
He will not use you and dump you. No, you stand. Joseph stood. He told off Potiphar's wife. And it doesn't matter in prison. God was there with him.
Imagine.
And at the end of it, we are reading of a success story of
Yes.
Joseph in the Bible. Yeah.
And actually, you see what you're saying. We can see also after that, we can see diligence and excellence in
Yes.
Joseph.
Yes.
And that is where he went when he went, other than what he was doing. Because when in Potiphar's house, he was doing his job very, very well.
Yes.
And even
Yes.
the wife could see this person does
Yeah.
well, even as she was being attracted to
Yeah.
him. But again, we see him when he goes to prison. He's also doing very well
Yes.
and excelling.
Yes.
You can see the spirit of excellence in Joseph.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where. He would have said, you know, they threw me here,
Yeah.
I'd done nothing wrong, and he would just be there. But again, he goes there, he's made in charge of the others.
Yes.
Because of his work.
He
Diligence.
was consistent. The Bible says he was promoted.
Yes.
At first he was just a slave like
Yes,
any other.
any other.
But when Potiphar watched and saw the way this guy is working, he promoted him and he made him overall in charge of his house.
Yes.
Only his wife that was not under him.
Yes.
Then now in prison, the one who was in charge in prison also elevates him. So it doesn't matter where you are.
Yes.
If you have the spirit of excellence in you, it will shine. It will come out.
Yes.
Yes.
And also this aspect of giving yourself to God. Yeah?
Yes.
Yielding to him, to his guidance, and appreciating that I'm doing it for him.
Yes.
And that is what we see. Because here, you can imagine Joseph would have been bitter.
Very bitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And say, these people, Yani, what did I do? I did nothing. But you realize, even in prison,
Yeah.
his diligence is seen.
Yes.
You know, and we said, I remember there's a time we had a program, we talked about diligence,
Yeah.
and we said that diligence will rule.
Yes.
And we can see it practical in Joseph's life.
Yeah.
And it's quite, it gives me a lot of comfort as a Christian and encouragement as a Christian to
Yeah.
know that God is not unfair. He's not unjust.
Yeah.
He's able to look at it and be able to help us regardless of our circumstances or the positions. So wherever someone is, wherever God has placed you, wherever God has given you to do, it may be looking like it's a humble beginning, is small. Can you do your best?
Yes.
Do your best. Because through that, God will reward you and take you to another level.
You should guard yourself.
Yes.
Not to come out of the goodness of God, the covering of God. Because suppose Joseph had started complaining and was bitter and all that, he could not have walked with God. No. And eventually, angepotelea, or the story could have been different. But it's good for us always to work out, to work towards being with God.
Yes.
There, next to him, every step. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The other thing that we learned from Joseph's effect is resilience and perseverance.
Yeah.
Challenges. And challenges seem to follow him from home.
Yes.
But God was with him. You can imagine when you look at the life of Joseph, the challenges from his brothers, of course not liking, not loving him.
Yeah.
Your dad's favorite. He likes you.
Dreamer.
You're a dreamer. Even actually they used to call him a dreamer. We can see the dreamer coming here. Let's kill him. We see where these dreams will go. You know, you're dealing, there are so many things surrounding you.
Yeah.
And these people who are very close to you, their intention is not good. And wanakupangia mabaya.
Yeah.
And they are your brothers who should be supporting you and even encouraging you. But when they look and see you coming, and you're coming to bring them food and to check how they are doing, they're like, let's see where the dreams will go. Let's kill this man. Let's see what happens out of him. But we can see that resilience. Even after he's taken to a land and sold. And I love God, because God has a plan. And I think even that whole plan for him to go for food that time, to take them food that time.
Yeah, it was all planned out by God.
Those who were going to buy slaves when they were coming.
Yeah.
It just happened to be the same period.
Yeah.
And even this, God putting in one of the brothers this idea, let's not kill him.
Let's put him in a well.
In a well that is dry. But his intention was to take him, to save him from the brothers. All this we can see God. God in it. God in it. And Joseph allowing God to lead him. Resilience.
It's true. The resilience, I can imagine Joseph suffered because of God.
Yes.
Because where did the dreams were the cause of all this.
Yes. They were killing the dreams.
And they came from God.
Yes.
It's just the way you were saying in previously that when God creates each one of us, he puts all those things in you.
Yes.
So in Joseph, he put these dreams.
Yes.
And he suffered for those dreams.
Yes.
He suffered for those dreams. But at the end of it all, God gave him that grace to endure, to persevere, and to come out victorious. Yes.
Yeah, it's never in vain. And I think sometimes I would rate the perseverance and even resilience at work, where sometimes the environment is not really favoring you, because you can see environment was not favoring Joseph.
Yeah, it was not.
And even while he's like excelling in work, promoted, the environment again becomes
something else comes up.
And you can see all those things, the environment, you're in prison and all those. But how far can we persevere? How far can we? And sometimes people will even mistreat you at workplace because of your faith.
Yes.
Hakubaliani nasi. So we are going to show him. We're going to show her.
Yeah, people will conspire against you.
Yes. Yes.
And even to an extent of you are sent home because of your faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what do you do as a Christian? Because you need to stand firm. Despite that, you don't run away from the environment. You know, because most of the time what we do, we run away. And we don't give God an opportunity to mold us and build us within that environment. Because such hard moments makes us better. Be able to persevere until God opens another door. So, and that's why I should tell people, don't leave a job without another. just because a member is, unless it becomes so hostile that you cannot persevere. We need to take a short break, then we'll come back. I know that you're listening to us and you're there. Give us your feedback. We're taking a short break. My name is Beatrice Chuchu.